So this is a fairly simple version of this problem, but they can get a lot more complicated. So let's look at one of those, and this is an example I took from the book if you want to look at some different work for it. But basically the situation is, I'm a super lucky guy, I just won the lottery, but they give me a choice. And I like thinking about this choice since I'm a math person, and the choice they give me is that I can either take a lump sum of $920,000 right now, or that they'll pay me $250,000 a year over the next 4 years, starting right now. So if you think about it, this one they're giving me a total of $1 million, right? But which one's worth more? Which one would I rather take? So the way we'll do these problems generally is we'll convert either everything to a present value or everything to a future value. In this problem, it's going to be easier to convert everything to a present value. Notice this number right here. This is a present value. This is the present value of this money is $920,000, right? So I'm done over here if I'm converting everything to a present value. Here, it's a little bit trickier. What I have is let's draw out a number line to make it a little bit easier to think about what's going on. All right, so at t equals 0, at the beginning of my number line, they're going to give me $250,000. I'm just going to write down 250K. And then again, at t equals 1, they give me another $250,000. At t equals 2, they give me another $250,000. And at t equals 3, they do the same thing. And so if we're trying to find out the present value of this entire proposition, this entire idea, we have to find out the present value of each of these 4 little payments they give us. So the present value of this first payment's already done. Present value here is $250,000. Right? Now what's the present value from this payment? Well, I'm going to have to use my formula. And if you remember from before, the present value was B divided by e to the RT. That was for continuous interest, right? And so the present value of this is going to be 250,000 divided by e to the 0.06 times 1, right? Because we're only going back 1 year. This one here would be 250,000 divided by e to the 0.06 times 2, and this last one would be the same thing, but times 3 at the end. And so if I type each of these into my calculator, I'll figure out that the present value of this money, now remember, should it be less or more than $250,000? The present value should be less, because if I put that less amount of money into a bank account, I'll end up with $250,000 a year from now. And indeed, this one is $235,441. And it's going to just keep getting worse and worse, right? Because I need less money to put in the bank account at the beginning to have this $250,000 several years out. This one is $221,730, and this last one is $208,818. And if I add up all these different present values, my total present value is going to be $915,989. So what this tells me is that this amount of money right here, even though it's less than $1 million, which is what they're giving me, it has a higher present value than this. So basically, if I put this in the bank account, I'll end up with more money than I would if I put all this money in a bank account. So I should take the lump sum.